All right, and we are live now. Thank you all for joining us for this day, for this session of the E-Meteor Architecture School. Apologies for the delay. There's been a sudden burst of rain in Bangalore, a lot of traffic jams that caused this delay. Nevertheless, the E-Meteor Architecture School is a session that we conduct at dqlabs with the objective for aspirants, the NATA 2022 aspirants, to build their preferred list of architecture schools. Right. So while there are a lot of schools to choose from, not all of them are on the preferred list. So how do you decide what is on your list and what is not on your list? So at TQ Labs, we have identified a few top schools that we think you should consider. But this is an opportunity for you to interact with the management of these top schools and identify the best option that you think is good for you. If you missed the previous architecture session that I've conducted on the KCET and Comet-K process, please do um, watch this webinar. It's there on our YouTube channel. The link is there in this YouTube link as well. So you could watch it and that'll help you understand the Comet-K and CET process better. Today's session is with our RV College of Architecture. We're very happy to have RV College of Architecture here, one of the best and most well-known colleges. They've been around for years. And it is one of the highest ranked architecture institutes in India. And it has cutting edge facilities and faculty with a diverse and international background. So here's an opportunity to interact directly with with Professor Suresh Murthy, and he will talk about the collaborations with international universities and the awards that have been won by their students. Professor Murthy is the Dean of RVCA. He's had over 17 years of academic experience and has graduated from IIT Delhi. All right. He's an expert in GIS and Autodesk. Now over to the webinar that we've been waiting for. Professor Suresh, thank you so much for taking the time out to come here and interact with our parents and students of DQ Labs.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Um, your,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
yes, much better.
Is my slide visible to all?
No, you may have to try sharing again.
Okay. Yeah, just to add on, I am basically an architect from MS University of Baroda.
I think you've gone low again. The
Yeah.
mic has gone low.
I am basically an architect from MS University of Baroda and masters from IIT on the building science side. And then, yeah, have worked with various institutes. Am I audible?
Yes, Professor. Thank you for that.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Not able to. Okay. Just a minute. Do I have the permission to share?
Yes, I've given you the permission.
Share screen. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Yeah. Is the slide visible now?
Yes, very clearly visible. Yeah.
Is it full screen? I hope so.
Yeah, it is. It is full screen.
Okay. Fine.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for the introduction. I have my colleagues as well on this call. So probably, yeah, in between they would also like to add a few points when they are required. So I have Shweta with me, I think Hiranmai also with me, assistant professor and associate professor, and also Ramya probably, who is also an assistant professor. So there are 4 or 5 of us today. Okay, so welcome to all the participants here. We have around 24 including us. That's good to go. So yeah, uh, the idea is to give you a brief profile of what is our institute all about, and also look at the uh, particular aspects on which we focus on, because we are all part of the university which is called Vishvesvaraya Technological University. And still being a part of the university and following the curriculum, we the way we teach and way we structure ourselves to impart ideas and give the knowledge in terms of pedagogy is different from other colleges. I don't say we are unique, but yeah, we are different, and the differentiators are highlighted. So that is the aspect, and then the various activities which we do is the next thing which I want to talk about, and then the faculty involvement and why we are where we are today, and the awards and accolades, as well as won by the institute and also contributed and won by the students, and how we have a mix of faculty to teach the course in terms of giving inputs to the students and mentoring them. So we start off with a brief profile. So we call this as a history, mission, and core values slide. So we started the Bachelor's of Architecture program in the year 1992-93. So almost 20 years now. We started it at RVCA on the Mysore Road, which is RV College of Engineering premises on the Mysore Road. The starting intake, as approved by Council of Architecture, was 40 students, which is common for most of the colleges which start up even today. 2004, 2005, we were recognized as a research center by Vishvesvaraya University, Vishvesvaraya Technical University, and 2005, 2006, our intake we could increase it to 80 with the VTU approval. 2009, we were accorded autonomy, but as a part of RV College of Engineering. So we were still in the same campus, and the intake was increased to 120. We also run a Masters of Architecture program. We started in 2006 and continuing even today. We specialize in urban design under VTU with a sanctioned intake of 20 students. Then the School of Architecture moved to a newly designed premises in the year 2014, which is in Banshankari 6th phase near Sompura exit of Nice Road. It is actually close to Uttaralli and connects on Kanakpura Road on one side and the Nice corridor on the other side. 2015-16, we came to be existence as a separate school of architecture there, and we became fully functional. Okay. Now, what we strive for achieving, having worked for so long, is that we want to initiate a class of professionals and develop creative thinking with the students, be it bachelor's program or the master's program, and also develop the questioning attitude towards what is appropriate architecture. So we want the questions to come from the students and develop the attitude to question things. So that is where we are in terms of our teaching methodology. We are also a central excellence for architecture and urban design. We are already on the architecture side, we are doing it, and urban design is a specialization on which we are working as a center of excellence. So that is the PG program. We attract best talent. We actually cherry pick talents for various specializations who are architects, but also are specialized in niche areas which are beyond architecture. We have good infrastructure, probably one of the best in the south, and we also include technology and infrastructure together to impart knowledge, which is what is required these days after the pandemic. On the research side, we are a crucible of ideas in terms of thrust areas in architecture, urban design, and various allied disciplines. And we constantly work, rework in order to, in an iterative process, to improve our pedagogy and learnings through various programs with international institutes. We also synergize with premier research institutes, various architectural firms, and people who practice in the field, because that is the most important. All the students who graduate are finally supposed to be practitioners of architecture, interior design, or whichever discipline they would like to go in for. So we work with those institutes and those professionals to get back the knowledge. So they are part of our teaching faculty. And our mix of visiting as well as core faculty is quite rich in that extent in order to get ideas from the practice. We also share the benefit of intellectual and professional capabilities of teaching architecture.
I'm not so sure if Professor has gone blank only for me or is it for everybody?
I'm also not able to hear him, I
Okay.
think.
Professor, I think your mic is not working again. Yeah. So seems like Professor has got disconnected. We'll wait for him um, to join in again. In the meantime, let me. Yeah. So while Professor connects back, I just thought I'll share the screen with you.
Hello.
Yeah.
I think I lost connectivity.
Yes, yes. You did. And if you could speak a little louder into the mic, that'll be great.
Okay, so talking about the core values, so that's where I was. The
Yeah.
college adheres to the learning environment, ideal learning environment, and the pandemic taught us a lot. So we have to shift to.
Are you sharing your screen, Professor?
Have I come out of it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's visible now. Thank you.
Yeah, is the screen visible now?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, because of the rains, I think there's some problem with the connectivity. Okay, so yeah, we imbibe core values for creating an ideal environment for teaching, and we are very much passionate for teaching architecture. So each one of us, as I told you, are specialized in the various areas which is required in architecture, and we carefully select the teaching talent in terms of what our requirement is and what we require from the industry and practitioners. We set a high standards for both the faculty and students, and we have various mechanisms, feedback and other things through which we improve. So we are open to ideas, and that is what has led to the improvement throughout our life cycle so far. And we are very self-critical. We re-examine ourselves and see what is it that it is required today in terms of architectural teaching and pedagogy, and innovate ourselves. So the core faculty is structured with Principal Dr. Om Prakash Bhavane, myself the Dean, and we have an Associate Dean for VTU, Professor H.R. Manjunath. We have around 5 professors and including principal around 6. Many associate professors, assistant professors, and we also have a category called adjunct and tenure faculty. So tenure faculty are people who practice also and also come and teach, and they come for 3 to 4 days a week. And adjunct faculties are basically senior faculties, the what we call as oak tree in terms of their profiles. So they are very senior and they bring a lot of knowledge from the industry. And we have visiting faculty which are practicing in various offices. So a combination of all of this is what is our in terms of giving inputs to the students and running the entire program of teaching and learning of architecture. We have a very rich ratio of 1:8, meaning one one faculty to 8 students, which is an optimum ratio for architecture education in any institutes, either in India or worldwide. Now coming to the infrastructure, we have a very large area. We have a standalone campus. You can see the visuals on the right hand side, and lush green landscape, and we are at multiple levels within the same site. The site was sloping, and it was a competition project which was won by one of the architects, and it was implemented. So it's a good, very contemporary building with a philosophy of its own in terms of what it says about architecture. The building itself talks about architecture. So we have around 14 studios, various classrooms. Classrooms are for theory and other subjects. Studios are for design, learning, and creativity. And they are well supported by labs, library with up-to-date books, where we keep on adding books every quarter. And there are various labs like material museum, structures, survey, then open construction yard where students can means actually build certain structures in terms of building construction, climatological lab, visual art studio, and various other support functions, including sports club and gym, as well as photocopy and stationery facility within the campus itself. So students need not go out; they can depend on the facility within the campus, which is open up to 8 to 9 p.m. Other supporting areas are cafeteria. We have a hostel within the campus for both
I think Professor is having some network issues.
సైజ్ ఎంత మేడం డబుల్ ఎక్స్ఎల్ మొత్తం వచ్చాయి
Right. Looks like Professor's having some technical issues. Yes, he's back now.
again lost network. Yeah, am I back?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we have diverse specializations among faculty. We'll see that more in the later slides. And we continuously evaluate ourselves and improve through the feedback mechanism. We are also a recognized research center, as I explained in the first slide during our roadmap of the tenure of our architecture course, our architecture journey. Okay. So our strength lies in the infrastructure facilities. Apart from the core faculty mix, we have various labs, climate responsive lab, material testing labs, surveying and leveling labs with the most state-of-the-art facilities, graphic design and spatial analytics lab, model making lab. We focus a mix of software skills as well as manual way of working. So the initial years, first to third years, are all more of manual work student does for the creative aspects and the arts and other learning, humanities learning. But later on years, we also teach them various computer tools, based tools, which they can use, so they can relate better to how it is in certain areas. It is more suitable for the architecture design process. We have completely internet-enabled classrooms with internet technology and sketching pads and digitization tablets for communicating online, including graphics. And upcoming facilities are lighting design lab and virtual reality and augmented reality lab, as well as fabrication lab with lathes and other instruments, where students can use various materials to make model. So our 2 years master's program also teaches urban design and urbanism, which is an extension of this. And we are actually leveraging our master's faculty who are highly specialized also for the bachelor's course in architecture. So that's where our strength comes from. Our faculty come from various diverse backgrounds and with many years of professional practice. As I said, some are on a as senior as being called as an oak tree. They constantly contribute not only to practice but also teaching. So they bring back the various knowledge back to the classroom and integrate classroom with the practice and the industry. They are professionals and they are a very healthy mix as far as the teaching faculty ratios are concerned. So expertise amongst various faculty ranges in various disciplines, including offshoots of architecture such as landscape design, urban planning, computer applications, digital architecture, sustainable architecture, lighting design, structures, and also various parametric design concepts which are becoming more important these days, including the sustainable architecture portion. So we have faculty in each of these areas and they are specialized. Now, as far as the rankings are concerned amongst institutes within the southern region as well as in India, we are very nicely ranked, second in the category of super excellence as far as GHRDC Architecture College Survey of 2022 is concerned. Fifth place as per Education World as an all India architecture college. And we are in top 25 private institutes of architecture according to Outlook magazine in the last year. So we are third place there. So these are some of the certifications. The second in the category of super excellence in the year 2022, which is latest, which is Global Human Resource Development Center, New Delhi, have certified us. We are number 5 in terms of fifth place in terms of higher education rankings in 2022-23. And above us are very famous institutes such as School of Planning and Architecture, CEPT Ahmedabad, and Sir JJ School of Architecture, which have been pioneering in the architecture education countrywide. Latest Outlook iCare 2022 puts us at the top 30 architectural colleges and ranks us as number 4 in terms of various parameters which are illustrated here. As far as academic and co-curricular activities are concerned, we amalgamate both of them. So we not only have a practice of imparting teaching, learning in a very structured manner, but we are also into various co-curricular activities which add more to fun, but the fun itself helps us in the students learning more. So we do both of them, and we have a lot of encouragement to the student-driven activities in these fields. So the excellence of students is a primary measure of our success, and they have been bringing us awards and accolades over a period of time. For example, the Council of Architecture, which is the registering body for educational institutes as well as practicing architects, they have something called as a NIASA award for best thesis, and we have won this award maximum number of times from one institute. Our student Ullas and Arya Arun have been awarded the best thesis award in the BR program, and Shritu has won the best thesis award in the master's program last year. And Mr. Ullas has also been ranked in the second rank in the university ranking at VTU across the state. We also have been consistently winning Nippon Paints Award, which is called Young Asia or Asian Young Designer Award, both for architectural design as well as for interior design. So we have always been in the forefront on various awards and accolades. Recently, we had 2 teams, and both the teams won a Solar Decathlon Design Challenge. One won the grand finale, and the other one was runner-up in the field of their work. So this was basically a sustainable net zero energy concept-driven design progress. BAUHAUS Design Style Competition 2021, our students were winners. CEDAR Design, then A3F Passion Perfect Award for Art and Design, and NDA Awards conducted by Institution of Engineers, A3 Foundation Award again, then SS in Architecture 2019, and Transparency, which is conducted by Ethos in Architecture and Interior Design. We were second runner-up and regional winner in the previous years. So these are some of the awards and recognitions that our students have got. This is the Solar Decathlon Design Challenge 21-22 award. We had a team called EcoCult, and they won a prize money of 40,000 for the category office building at All India competition as a grand finale for sustainable and net zero building concept for the office. And we also had a runner-up team called RV Innovative, which won a prize money of 20,000, and it was for a single family dwelling. So these awards were given by the Central Minister, Dr. Jitendra Prasad, is the Minister for Science and Technology, Government of India at New Delhi. So we were recipients of this award this year. In the co-curricular activities, our students have been doing quite well. Overall championship runners-up award in the Karnataka State Inter-Architecture Colleges meet at BGS SAP Bangalore in May 2022. And we also had teams showing brilliant performance in volleyball, basketball, 100 meters race, and relay. So these are all part of the co-curricular activities where our students also perform well. We have various cultural activities throughout the annual cycle. So these are some during the Dashera and the Rajyotsava times. So our students themselves organize this with guidance from the faculty members, and we have a large auditorium where these are done. These sets which are you see as a backdrop were all built by the students using various materials. And as a part of the elective, we also have stage performance and theater presentation as electives where we impart students the knowledge of doing so. And music and cultural activities are a part and parcel of the joy and connecting to the social and religious cause, which is so important beyond academics. So this is regularly happens at our institute. We have various students clubs, including the graphics club, and we make posters for the various events. Some of them are illustrated here. There is one on theater and set design, which is also an elective subject, graphic design, where we use a lot of Adobe tools. We in fact have licenses from Adobe Creative Cloud, which is used for various creative and conceptual design, and students make various posters as well as make also their portfolios for building up their careers for internship and for professional practice. So we had various events for debate and uh, open debate during the lunchtime, which we call it as lunchtime debate, storyboarding workshops, and our annual exhibition is called Dimensions. So we had Dimension 14 this time, and that is the 14th in the series, in the annual exhibition series. The student clubs also have something called as a journey shared, where visiting professors as well as faculty share their journey of how they have been working in the field of architecture and how they have been contributing, and students also and alumni participate in these events. So there is a lot of learning which happens in these kind of events which are part of the student clubs. We encourage students to also do research activities. So we have uh, an annual magazine called Kalpa, where students also write about the research activities which they do, and faculty encourages them to do this. So it includes various aspects of architecture, urban design, urban planning, sustainability, and gender in architectural design. So students are promoted to write articles in this magazine. We also have a journal called Subversion, which connects experts from the profession of various disciplines as an offshoot of architecture and brings down their thoughts. And also we do inquiries about the urban context. So students benefit a lot in terms of reading these articles, and the faculty contribute into this. We participate in various symposiums apart from workshops as well as seminars. There are some of the symposiums. Here is the Pilgrim Cities of India and Urban Design Study, where Shravan Belgola was the topic, and similarly we had Hampi and Halebeedu also as topics at the various forums where students used to participate. And we also do research in these areas and bring some very relevant points in terms of bachelor's program as well as master's program. Our heritage document cell works on documenting heritage structure using various techniques. So we used to do a lot of this through manual sketching and bringing it back in terms of measure drawings into our studios. But of late, we have also gone into what is called as a laser or lidar mapping of various structures, which is a three-dimensional mapping using the laser as a tool, where objects can be actually be captured in terms of colored photograph as well as their dimensions, and they can be viewed in 3D. And uh, our students have been doing well work in various other states. So you can see one in the Andhra Pradesh where faculty and students worked on temple documentation. They were well appreciated by the state government. We collaborate with various global institutes, including institutes we have tie-ups in Switzerland with Freiburg. We have tie-up with the Department of Architecture, Wood Sciences, Bern University, and KU Leuven. So there is a lot of exchange of school of thoughts between us and them, which helps us to actually improve our curriculum over a period of time, and also expert lectures to be delivered from their side, and our faculty also contribute similarly to the forum with those institutes. Recent collaborations have also been with ICOMOS, which is Council of Monuments and Sites in India, through which we get access to various monuments and heritage documentation. We also write research papers with them, and we also have recently worked with the Bochum University Germany, where we are working with their faculty, and we use processes and tools called DigiSpace, through which we capture data for architecture and urban design. So we are exchanging their processes with us and ours with them, and also using their tools for doing various contact survey and various other attribute-based surveys. We also have a nodal center for IARS, which is Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, which is part of NRSA, which is National Remote Sensing Institute, which is an offshoot of ISRO. So we conduct programs on GIS and urban utilization of GIS in urban planning and urban design. And our institute is a nodal center there, so we also participate and get faculty from other colleges. And IARS actually helps us to run those courses either online or offline. We have a very strong alumni network. We have been in the architecture teaching for quite a long time. So we have 26 batches which has passed by and passed out. And we have people who are eminent in the fields of architectural practice, architectural consortiums and firms, and there are multinational as well as proprietary or owned firms. So we draw resources from them, and they are part of our visiting faculty, and they come and impart knowledge and share their thoughts and recent developments. So we keep ourselves up to date by having people from the industry, with some of them being our own alumni. We also give assistance to students to establish their independent practice. We conduct open house sessions like we are conducting today for the prospective students. Similarly, we conduct open house sessions for people to go for internship, as well as people to the students to go for placements. So various firms come up and they actually have sessions with us. And this year and last year, part of it being pandemic, we did most of this online. Of course, on a regular basis, this happens as a offline within our campus also. So a lot of people from the industries, including air conditioning experts from Blue Star, illumination experts, landscape experts, urban design experts, water conservation experts, keep the students and faculty engaged, and also the internship and the placement cell. So we are part of the placement program in terms of working with what is required in the professional field. We do internal skill enhancement programs for faculty as well for students. Some of them are listed here, including workshop on architectural representations. We did workshop on AutoCAD and Revit with industry partner who actually imparted knowledge for a week within our college. Workshop on wooden trusses. We have also tied up with Hafele, which is a leading interior fixtures company from Germany. Their fixtures are very popular for interior design, so we are partnered with them. They come to the college and demonstrate and also work with us on various workshops. We do urban sketching workshops, then 3D object construction. Also, we did a value addition course on rendering. Rendering is how to portray your buildings in 2D and 3 dimensions with hand skills as well as with computer skills in terms of imparting shading, etc., to portray the building in a true 3D representation. We also did workshop on reinforced concrete structures. So beyond architecture, on the structure side, landscape side, conservation side, we keep doing various workshops. So these are some of the snapshots of such workshop. One of them was communicating design intentions with architectural representations, how with sketches and three-dimensional annotations and illustrations you can communicate ideas. And we actually provide awards and rewards to the students who do well in these competitions. And some of the illustrations are shown. There is one called Housing on the Move and Wheeled House Community. These were all competitions which are organized for the students. So a lot of extracurricular work happens within the college for the learning development for the students. This is a training program on AutoCAD and Revit. Revit is a building information management tool called BIM, which is becoming very popular, which holds data about architectural projects. So it is not only a drafting tool, it goes beyond drafting to include conceptual design as well as massing studies, and also holds building materials and specification data. So it goes onto the construction field. And if you have handheld devices, you can actually communicate to the construction field using a BIM model. This is becoming popular with most of the multinational firms. In fact, they want our students to have this knowledge and learn this technology for better placements. We did workshop on wooden trusses where students actually built trusses to a smaller scale as a uh, model, and also tested them by loading them. So these are called hands-on exercises, which are very important for the students to understand behavior of various structural methods of spanning as well as taking up load. This is the Hafele interior workshop with utilizing various workshop fabrication tools as well as joineries, which is Hafele is very popular for this. We utilized our indoor open to sky space within our building and the construction yard to do bamboo construction workshop, where right from the procurement of material to seasoning of the material to joinery and making a structure and experiencing the structure once made. These structures still even today exist in our central courtyards. If students are visiting, they can take a look at that. These are all done by students and encouraged by faculty and guided by them. We had urban sketching workshop to represent urban areas. So students used to go to the field and do sketches and improve upon them using various rendering technique and develop illustrations to explain the city. So this is very important part of teaching learning process of how to imagine and how to represent cities for the benefit of others. So architecture is not only a conceptual or a final design, it is also how you portray your design to the contractor, to the client, to other people, other members of your own team, and also in some cases for a multinational projects, work globally with other team partners. So communication of ideas through sketches, through photographs, through portraits, through themes, through rendering is very important, and computer-based tools are also very handy here for an online communication in this front. So we keep doing these workshops very regularly. This is a workshop on 3D object construction where students, alumni, etc. all participated. We did a project, we did a workshop called To Draw is to Think, To Draw is to Learn. Those kind of workshop where basic sketching and other tools were utilized with sketching with pen and ink, as well as pencils and various other mediums like charcoal, crayons, etc., in order to illustrate various themes and objects and communicate with other people your own ideas. We do various value addition courses, so rendering remedies were one, and where students are holding their own rendering plates here on the photographs. So we create posters for all of these events, and we popularize this within our college as well as with other neighboring colleges, and put it up on our website as well as on Instagram. We did workshop on non-destructive testing. It's basically a technique where you don't tamper with your existing structure, but through various other tools like sonar or detection through ultrasound, you can find out the strength of the structure, its weakness and cracks. So without actually tampering with the structure itself. So we did a workshop on this on the structure side. So we have an structures lab within our institute itself, which helps us do all this. So we actually portray our students' work and faculty work through various annual exhibitions. So recent was the 14th annual exhibition. So we do it every year. This happened in June 10th and 11th this year, where we called various other guests of honor. Architect Gurmeet Rai from Conservation Architects from Delhi was there, and Biju Kuryakos was there from Chennai. And they actually conducted a seminar during the architectural exhibition for the students. So these actually people coming in from practice and other institutes help us to learn a lot in terms of exchange of ideas and various best practices that they follow. We have a program called seminar or talk called Crossroads of Conversation, where we bring in experts. So this is one on spatial expressions in dance and architecture. So there are various other creative forms where we also focus beyond actually arts, performing arts as well, beyond architecture, because these help us a lot. All of them are creative aspects. So creativity is the key in architecture. So various art forms, dance forms, music, all of this help the students to in the process of learning architecture, because all of them are creative linked. So we had Dr. Jagannathan, a wonderful dancer and also a faculty in one of the colleges in Bangalore, Professor Sagar, and our own students, Nishi Pujari, who contributed to this webinar. So similar sort of webinars, we had Crossroad for Conversation, session 10 on built environment. And we also did a national online faculty development program through Council of Architecture. The whole idea was to tie up with the leading registering body, which is the governing body for all architects, practicing architects, as well as students. So we keep doing workshop with them. The topic here was enterprise of the built environment, perspectives from the industry. So we had members from the industry, members from the architectural forum, interior design, architects involved in urban planning like Naresh Narasimhan from Bangalore. We also had various others, CEO from RJ Group, principal architects from firms in Mumbai, as well as consultants, and brought them onto the similar forum where they were speakers on the topic of the enterprise of the built environment. We also had panel discussions for our own learning and exchange of ideas. So these are very important aspects of uh, to tie up with the industry and have an industry academia relationship, which helps us to actually improve our curriculum and bring some very nice points and points of apt uh, requirement as on date in terms of getting the latest into the student learning process. We do a lot of social outreach and connect camp. We had a COVID vaccination camp within the campus. We had a plantation drive under the NSS unit and also with the Rotaract Club. We are also a part of the Rotaract Club now. We have a Globe Ed kind of a forum where we actually bring various other international educational institutes onto our forum, and they talk about their courses and how it is good for students to actually continue education further into the post-graduation, and they talk about the strengths of those institutes. So we have an inter-exchange program and a forum where these institutes, representatives of these institutes like Dean and others, they come and exchange their ideas and how they are running the courses. And the whole objective is to actually promote our students for advanced learning in institutes abroad. We had installation of Rotaract Club in the April 2022, so we are part of the Rotaract now. We do various activities with them. We are part of the blood donation camp organized under the NSS. And under the NSS, we also do various other events with these nearby schools, government schools, etc. And our faculty actually go into the schools and uh, uh, improve the upkeep of the schools, including doing paintings on the walls, and also conduct some painting and other artistic classes and impart knowledge to those school students. So these are wonderful exchange program which we do for the benefit of the society, and this happens through our own NSS unit. So it's part of our own. In corporates, we call it as corporate social responsibility. Here we have an educational institute social responsibility. So we do it with a lot of passion with the neighboring schools. So this is a brochure on the GlobeEd for making students aware on the global prospects for higher education in architecture and allied disciplines. So we had list of universities which came in, including Manchester University, UK, then Arizona State University, US, and University of Liverpool, University of Arizona, and many others. So this happens on a regular basis. We are part of the Rotaract Club of RVCA is tied up with Rotaract Club of Bangalore Archers, which is quite a large club. And we had recently had an installation ceremony, and we have a full student team working with the part of the Rotaract. We had a blood donation camp through the NSS in our institute that happens regularly every year. And this is the social outreach project to connect to the schools close by as well as the rural area. We actually went to Ramnagar and Pandavpura area as well to the government schools and did some learning exercises with the students there. So we see our students painting on their walls and also actually faculty and students imparting some learning tips on the various arts and crafts within those schools. So noteworthy engagements have been various competitions like storyboards. Lunchtime debates has become very popular within our institute, where in the open Kund area, during the lunchtime, we have debates on the various topics where faculty and students work together, and we have a structure in place for running these debates with one of our visiting faculty taking a very lead role. We have an Archi quiz club, we have students skits club, we have an activity for wall painting, and this happens very much during our exhibition where we improve the complete building look up through various paintings which are done by the students. So these are regular activities to engage students in other extracurricular activities, and we understand that students do need to have joy of learning apart from indulging in academic activities, and the mix of this is what helps them to learn better as well. So we are quite uh, focused on improving these kind of clubs and involving students in these extracurricular activities. So this is a slide on the storyboard competition about digital sketches and illustrations and annotating various sketches to make them very explanatory and communicating the big idea from the student side. This is the slides about the portraying of our lunchtime debates within the Kund area. The Kund area is actually a nice area with an open courtyard with some plants for shelter and nice. It has got sloping site on all the sides with steps, so it is a nice small mini auditorium kind of a thing where we do our various juries as well as conduct these kind of debates. These are our proud student skits portraying their enjoyment. And this is the wall painting activities which we talked about. So they normally happen in our institute, also as a part of NSS in the various schools nearby. And this also helps them to learn various painting as well as sketching, and which is an important aspect in the creative part of the subject called basic design, which is there in the first and the second semesters. We have studios which are practice driven and they are also very interactive, and we call them experiential learning studios. So a lot of themes from history of architecture, theory of architecture, etc. are integrated across subjects. So when they are integrated across subjects in the particular semester, we call them as horizontal integration, but they are also integrated vertically. So design of a higher semester is also integrated with the lower semester, or of a building construction as a subject of the lower semester. So this is what is we call it as a practice driven studio and experiential learning. So this is an online classroom using Zoom and Google Meet, and when the pandemic was not there, we also used to do this offline. And we have some concept called jury, which is very important in architecture, where practicing architects as well as jury members interact with the students and critically examine the ideas which the students are showcasing, and they cross question them, and through this process students learn a lot. So diverse kind of people are part of the jury from various specialization. So we have a very holistic approach, and architecture is basically integration of humanities, arts, sciences, all of them, including the creativity part. So we focus on this holistic approach. So here is a representation of a student theme of how it works during day and night in terms of showcasing it through a digital mode of sketching as well as drawing and model making. So we keep doing these activities on a regular process, and there's one on the right is a poster for a open jury for the sixth semester. So each of the design studio actually ends up in a jury where eminent architects are involved. So we have been getting eminent speakers and jurors. Architect B.V. Doshi from Ahmedabad, very famous architect Krishnarao Jaisim, we call him Professor Jaisim. He is in Bangalore. Kevin Mark Low, we got him from Malaysia. Sanjay Mohe, who has been practicing very well in Bangalore as well as many projects in Pune. Architect Christopher Beninja from Pune, Prem Chandavakar from Chandavakar and associates in Bangalore. And water conservationist architect Chitra Vishwanath. So they have been associated with us in the past, and they have been coming to our college on a regular basis. And you see one of the posters on the right side for the topic called housing, with a review panel with architect Sanjay Mohe, Vatsala Dikuna, Megha Nanaya, who is our visiting professor, and others. And there were other tutors as well, including famous architecture personalities in Bangalore, Edgar de Mello, then Mansi Rao, and others. So these are kind of activities we do. So this is a hands-on building structure for our materials and building construction activities, where students are practicing a building of an arch with scaffolding within our own construction yard. And on the right side, you see the bamboo structure for covering spaces. And on the on the left side, you see a composition of vernacular style of building with mud blocks. And at the top is on the left is the mud plaster workshop. So where we work with industry partners and give student an hands-on experience. Our experiential learning theme also continues on various educational tours, where students go on a study tour, which is compulsory in architecture in 2 semesters. So through this, students understand architecture and in the natural settings. And we also are, apart from tours within the country, we are also now organizing educational tours as a international. This year we are now, I think next month we are going for Vietnam and Cambodia, as well as one student group is going to Singapore and Malaysia. So these are curated international tours where students imbibe a lot of learning, and they submit these reports as a part of the university requirement in terms of educational tour and experiential learning. Our students visited the Madhavara temple in Anantapur district in Andhra Pradesh and did heritage documentation by being there for around a week. Similarly, they visited the Chikkajala fort precinct and documented the building, including the roof form as well as the interior side of the roofs through sketches and photographs. We had a visit to the Hafele Design Center, which is experiential learning center of Hafele, which is very good, as I said, on the construction joineries and construction equipments and fabrication labs. Then we had a visit to workbench projects and organization in Peenya, where they use various lathes and also do what is called as a 3D modeling uh, as a tool through using various materials. So they craft models using robotic techniques, which is interfaced to computers. So they use CNC machine, 3D scanner, and 3D printing. And these are important avenues to learn because they're all part of designing a building as a product or making a smaller scale model with the product design. We did take the students to the study tour of Kerala as a part of the academic curriculum for 4th semester students. And they visited temples and also visited Rbca Construction and Training Institute in Kerala. A study tour to Tamil Nadu, visit to the various temples and churches and Mahabalipuram, visit to Mudabidri, where there are, apart from laterite based temples, there are also mud temples which are quite famous in that area. Students got exposure to these kind of structures which has been standing for long in terms of vernacular buildings, and also appreciated how buildings are sustainable and work with nature in terms of the religious as well as other buildings which have been there for long. So at RVCA, we also prepare students for architecture practice. So the various studios from experiential learning point of view are also taking the students towards the practice by bringing in people from the field and very learned and experienced architects to come and involve in the studios. And the studios and the students themselves participate in various competition design from Council of Architecture, from various other organizations like Birla White, Nippon Paints, Modi Glass, So these are ones which promote competition, and our students participate and win a lot of these competitions. We also help the students in terms of getting internship with various architectural firms, and student once there in the internship, some of them stay back and also join those firms later as a part of the placement process. So we allow internship in India as well as abroad. Only need is that they should work with the architect who is certified by the local governing agency. Our own faculty continuously upgrade because yeah, we believe in the firm faith that if people who impart educations themselves upgrade, then their upgradation process also gets translated into the students' learning. So things are changing fast in the world, right? There is nothing constant. There's change is a continuous process. So our faculty also go into various forums and learn. They do research. They also, many of them have PhDs. There are many who are enrolling now for additional specializations in PhDs. So they also get into various online courses and get certified through online forums. And by doing this, they also bring back this knowledge as a backward integration to the studios and to the students. So proof of intellectual proof of various industries, faculty coming from the industry and practice are Edgar de Mello, principal architect at Edgar de Mello Associates, Nagaraj Vastare sir from Nagaraj Vastare Architects, architect Indranil Bhattacharya. Some of them are well-known architects, Anup Nayak, co-founder Urban Frame, architect Sandeep Sen, architect Govind Rao, architect Guru Prasanna, and we also have artists like Ravi Kumar Kashi, who are visiting us and imparting and who are interfacing with the students. So we do a lot of talks from other institutes and workshops with other institutes, including SEPT, School of Planning and Architecture, then IUDI, discourses, etc. So these help our to have our improve our faculty's knowledge, which is translated back to the students. Now we give a lot of benefits to the students who attend our education webinars, including this one. So we recognize students for their academic zeal. We have various cash prizes for students who are having top 5 ranks through KCET examination after they complete the first year. We also give them extended access to the library. So normally 2 books are given, but those who participate in these kind of forums, we give them, make them eligible for more accessibility in terms of books and magazines. And we also give partial financial assistance for students who deserve them in terms of providing for educational tours, etc. for the deserving candidates. So these are additional incentives for students participating in the various webinars like this. We are there on the social platform. You can connect to us through Instagram official.rvca, through YouTube RV College of Architecture. So I encourage the students to visit there. You will see a lot of our activities, a lot of posters, and you will find where we are involved and what we are doing and what we are doing off late. So these are important things in terms of having visibility to the society as well as to other industries. So we are on the various social platforms communicating back. So that is what I wanted to bring as a bring and showcase that yes, we are a pioneering institute in the education, and apart from education, we also do a lot of other activities which are fun-based, which are extracurricular, which help or aid the students in the process of teaching, learning, and education. And we are more of opening up as a participative nature in terms of students participating and visiting faculties participating with a, we have a rich yeah, ratio of visiting practitioners, and we are constantly innovating and constantly exposing us to the industry. In fact, our article about our colleges have recently come up in the Outlook magazine last month, and the Week magazine, and the Open Institutional Framework magazine. So these are available on the various magazines, including their website. So I encourage you to go and read those articles. And the ratings are also published on the public domain. So these are the things which I wanted to showcase, and also wanted to show how we are differentiator in the education field, and how the constant learning process has helped us to come to where we are today. So rest is to be perceived by the participants and who look at us. So I leave the forum open and yeah, encourage you to ask any queries or questions. Yeah, thank you very much for your patience.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for taking the entire presentation. It was very interesting. Few questions coming in from the participants here. One is, when is the college opening for architecture admissions this year? Question from Dia Upadhyay.
Okay, yeah, the admission to architecture, as I think probably most of the people participating here know, is through three methods. One is through KCET for students in Karnataka who are domiciled in Karnataka. The other one is ComEd-K, which is a platform for all the leading private colleges. And the third one is a direct management quota. So as you know, we have an intake of 120 and other colleges have other sorts of intakes. So out of which approximately 35 or so seats go through KCET, around 30 seats come through ComEd-K, and the rest come through the management quota. So okay, I think KCET is already open. I think probably first or second list may be out. I think Dion, you might probably be aware what is
Yes.
the
So
progress in
yeah.
KCET.
Yeah.
So you can add in there. I think ComEd-K has just opened. So usually it opens after the KCET second round is done, and counseling happens through that. And management quota has been open for last 4 months. So some of our seats do get booked well in advance in the management quota, around 5 to 6 months before itself.
All
So
right.
I think still it's an ongoing process for all the three, but there have been various phases in which it is passing through.
So let me just add here, for those of you all who are considering RV, you'll need to follow the KCET and the ComEd-K process. We've done the webinar on that. It's available on our YouTube channel. However, the timelines are always sketchy. In the last couple of years, it's been sketchy. So please follow the official websites for KCET and ComEd-K. You'll get the information there. Just so you'll know, ComEd-K has extended the application dates till the 31st, I think. So please, if you have not applied yet, please do that and consider RVCA as your option. Yeah. Professor, the next question is from Jagdish and Kushi, who are asking about the KCET and ComEd-K cutoff ranks last year.
Yeah, the KCET is quite a complex phenomenon actually. It has various compartments through which students come in terms of the various reservation structure, etc. So I advise students to go to the KCET website and look at those cutoffs for their respective process of applications and what they are entitled to in terms of various compartments there. ComEd-K is more of merit. So yeah, generally top 60 to 120 within these ranks the ComEd-K closes. Every year it is changing because of this. Last year, because of the COVID situation and all that, many students from outside Karnataka did not want to take admissions within Karnataka. So those numbers changed. So this year we have to see how it goes. But generally, yeah. So top ranks within all the categories usually come to us, either be it CET or through ComEd-K. I think the cutoff ranks are already available on the ComEd-K website and KCET website. So students and parents can go there and take a look. And every year it is varying. So it is because of the competition and the NATA scores. So the NATA scores also, I think the topper scores are varying over the period of time. So what it means is that you need to be on the top in terms of your PUC score and NATA, where both are aggregated. So once you are in the top, this one, I think, yeah, if you opt for RV, yeah, you generally will get it.
All right. All right. The next question is from Adya Gupta. And there are two questions. Number one is, can we visit the college and meet the faculty and students? That's the first one. The second follow-up question is the fee structure. yeah, if you all could elaborate on that.
Yeah, definitely. The college is open to any visitors, be it students or parents. We have been seeing parents coming into college for admission-based inquiries, and they also, once they come, they also go and look at the entire campus, including the hostel. So yeah, we are open to that. If you want it to be organized, then we can organize it properly through the dqlabs as well. So we can have a particular day when they visit with all permissions arranged. So yeah, they can go through on a guided tour.
Absolutely. I think we did plan one of the open days at RVCA. However, not too many parents and students had registered for that on those days. However, in case probably we can announce a date, and if there are sufficient parents and students who would like to visit, then probably an open day can be suggested. We'll work with the RVCA team for that.
Okay. Yeah, as far as the fee structure is concerned, I think I request all parents and students to visit the website, which is rvca.rvei.edu. I think RVCA. You just put RVCA, you will get it on the website, and there the admission notice is already put up. So you will get the fee structure there for the management quota. Rest of the fee structure is governed by KCET and ComEdK itself. So roughly, yeah, I think KCET, ComEdK is thrice as fees is thrice as much as CET, and management has its own structure which is available on the website. So I advise parents and students to go there and get an idea.
All right. Right. So there's also a question from Mr. Jagdish about the transportation facilities. Do you all have transport facilities?
Yeah, we have two buses on two diverse routes. One goes through Vijayanagar and Magadi Road and comes to Jayanagar fourth block. And the other one goes to JP Nagar, Jayanagar, Kanakpura Road, and then connects to Jayanagar again. So these are the two routes, and both of them connect to the metro stations on both the purple line as well as the other line. So nearest metro station is Vajrahalli on the purple line. On the other side, it is I forgot the name. Yeah, on the Mysore Road.
Rajarajeshwari Nagar, sir.
RR Nagar, yeah. So it connects there.
All right. Let me just check YouTube.
So buses generally cover these areas at around 8:15 to 8:30 a.m. in the morning, and they leave the college at around 5 p.m. So students can either take the bus and then the metro, or take the bus if the route helps them to reach home quicker.
All right. So I don't see more questions. I would probably leave time since it's already quite late. So we will probably be open to the last couple of questions if people have any. But yeah, but overall, I wanted to um, probably bring up a couple of things that you covered in your presentation. One of the unique aspects of the strengths, what we see about RVCA is the legacy. It's been around for the last 25 years or right.
Yes.
And that is something that RV carries a lot of legacy. How does this really help a student at this stage?
Oh, the legacy, is it?
Yes, yes.
The legacy has, I think, helped us build our culture. Our passion has become more stronger over a period of time. And our basic philosophy is we have adhered to right from the start. So I think they are very meaningful in terms of how the learning process in architecture happens. And we go more on what we call as a school of thought in terms of imparting education and training for architectural development. And some of these happened in the early ages, including one in Germany, which is called the BAUHAUS School of Thought. So we believe in similar kind of thing where arts and crafts and materials And crafting was as important as teaching an architectural concept, because finally the building has to be practical, it has to stand, it has to sustain, and it has to have resilience in terms of the context in which it is set in. So what you build in Chicago cannot be built in Bangalore and should not be actually. So these are various traditions, and yeah, with our own learning process and interaction with society and interaction with developed technologies, I think over a period of time we have sharpened our skills, and we are current in terms of what the architectural practice requires as on date. So it has been a journey of learning, and I think journey of learning historically is very valuable in terms of what we are today. So it shapes our teaching learning process is what I would say.
Fantastic. And I think another aspect that you brought in a little earlier is because you have your 25 years of legacy, you have the old students who graduated and they're coming back and conducting
Yes, yes.
workshops and interacting with the
Mm.
students. I think that would probably help as well.
Yeah, true. Very true, very true.
Right. So there's a question from Vaishnavi who's asking, I'll probably rephrase the question.
In the meanwhile, I have our website where
Yeah.
if you go to admission, it is rvca.edu.in. If you go to the admissions, there you have see bachelor's and master's admission process. And if you go to bachelor's, it shows about KCET, ComEdK, and the management quota. And currently ComEdK is going on, so let me go there and show you what it shows.
So
So
your voice has gone a little low.
KCET, ComEdK, and management quota admission criteria is given here. So I have gone to ComEdK now, so you can clearly see what is required. NATA minimum 50% is required. Qualifying examination is 50%, right? So that is on the ComEdK side. So the ComEdK fee structure is what is prevalent there, and then you go to management quota. You have I think the fee structure is also displayed. Yeah. Continue, please. In the
Yes.
meanwhile, the website is refreshing. Yeah, there is the management fee structure. So, yeah, there is a one-time refundable or development fees of 4 lakhs, yearly tuition fees of 6 lakhs, and other college fees, which is around 50 to 55,000. And the eligibility criteria is also specified. And where you need to communicate to get your seat is also given. It is rv@rvei.edu.in. And you will be responded the same day by the trust office.
Right. Um, all right. So this we'll take one last question. Okay. So this is from Vaishnavi R. So the question that she's asked is why should a student prefer RVCA over other colleges? So I'm guessing that your whole presentation was about that.
Yes.
However, if you can summarize the answer in probably a couple of points, then that would be great for the entire audience to understand where you all are different.
Yeah, first and foremost is the time-tested teaching learning process. Second thing is industry interaction with academia. Third is oak trees and other practitioners coming back and involving themselves in the studios. Fourth is passionate, the faculties being very passionate with teaching in their and having their own specialization. And fifth is the joy of working for students in terms of various clubs and study tours. And we have taken feedback and we have also gone international study tours now. And various competitions for the students and faculty constantly upgrading themselves through participating in international and national competitions. And very unique way of studios, which is basically the core of the architecture learning for architecture design as well as building construction, wherein 2 to 3 faculties are indulging with the strength of 40. So very rich student faculty mix and a very strong alumni network, which brings back backward integration of knowledge into the college premises. So these are essential things, which is a differentiator for RVCA when compared to other institutes.
All right.
Sir, I would just like to add one more point, actually, if I may, sir.
Yes, Shweta, go ahead.
Okay, that's no. I just wanted to say we also, this is something that we're generally asked at a lot of forums, and I'd like to point out that we look at making now in today's time a student to be an entrepreneur in the market. We don't really look at them just doing a regular architectural job or something like that. So we're trying to look at a holistic development of the student, from that point of view, in terms of personality development. We train them much better for the practice and the profession. So, and that happens, like Sir said, through a lot of industry interaction. That also happens a lot through alumni interaction. Like you said, we have a very uh, you know uh, deep legacy of some renowned architects who've passed out of RV. So they come back, and there's a lot of knowledge transfer and exchange. So even it's the journey doesn't stop with the 5 years of the course. It sort of continues, and we're looking at students as a family. We're looking at them graduating, coming out, and making a mark in the field. So
Yeah, and our faculty is very heterogeneous. They are from various places in India, various states in India, and they are also from various different specialization. So the schools of thoughts are different. So what is very important is heterogeneous thoughts in our studios, because if everybody talks the same language, then there is not much benefit. So we go into a process of discussion in studios, etc., where the students get exposed and learn. And we, in fact, encourage the junior students to visit the senior student studio and vice versa. So it's a whole bunch of community which is in a learning process. And this is what we have been doing for long.
All right. I think that was very insightful. Thank you, Professor Suresh, your team who's been here. Professor Shweta has been, critical with having this organized in the previous visit to RVCA organized. Thank you so much to you and your team for taking part in this webinar and being available to our students. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to many of our students being part of RVCA in the near future.
Right, sir.
Thank you.
thank you so much,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you
Bye.
so much, sir, for this
And
platform. I think, I presume it has been very useful for the participants, and we have been able to do justice to in terms of
So I'm not
portraying
able
what.
to hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much for this platform. I think I feel we have been able to do justice and at least yeah, give out our ideas and proliferate on where we are and what we do, and so that the people, the students who join and parents who involve with us appreciate our way of working and choose us appropriately. Yeah, thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor. Right.
thank you, Dan, sir. Thank
Goodbye.
you.